Hi everyone, it's Mark from Orange Rocket again. Hope you're doing well. This is part 2 of analysing competitors using tools, whatever we want to call it. If you haven't seen where we got to, look at part 1 in our YouTube channel and you will see here where we got to this point. So if I just get rid of the camera, it gets in the way. So if we look at here, we've got 10 potential competitors that are in the same market. They are similar price or that are theoretical product, and they're selling, we think, the same sort of products. So what we can see from using a tool like this is we can see what, in theory, what sort of revenue they're doing. Now, these figures have been proved not to be hugely accurate, but what they are really good at is giving a proportion. So we know that it's likely that this seller is doing roughly around 3 times that this seller is. Now, it might be the numbers are out, and Helium 10 is a fantastic tool for getting that kind of information, but whether they're actually accurate, we're not 100% sure. But we can also see things like number of active sellers, so these are likely to be private labels. These may well be wholesalers or something. We can see where they're from. UK, China. UK and China is the 2 companies. We can see categories and who's actually selling and weight. So you can get a lot of information from that. So if we go into this particular seller, what we can see here is that one of the reasons that they're doing really well is that they've got a really good product listing. So we can see here that they've got some fantastic images. Look at all of that information. And this is where we see a lot of sellers go very wrong, is that the listing is very poor. They don't have many images. They don't have infographics like this one's got. See, look at this lovely comparison. They have some really good bullet points. And if we go down here, they've got lots of A+ content here with lots of product descriptions. So there's a reason why, and it isn't just about price, that a product like this does well. I'm not suggesting the others in the market are doing badly. I mean, this one's still got seven images, so it's probably still doing quite well. Yeah, look at those fantastic images. Really great. But if we was to remove the filters, right, we can see here that that there are some listings here that have got fewer images. If we just sort that, there, then we can see this listing here is not doing particularly well. So if we can go into it, the listing isn't that bad, but the images aren't brilliant. A bit basic. See if we can find, I mean, here's an example. It's not a particularly good example because we've obviously got some competitors that are actually doing quite well in this niche. And then what we can do is we can look at, if we go into a particular list, let's go back to that filter, retail price 20, what else did we do? Estimated sales, I think we did 5,000, maybe not. Estimated revenue, excuse my error. Right. So we can see here that there are we've got the sponsored products in here, but we can see that there are some really good competitors. And what we're doing is we're analysing the market and seeing how the competitors are, so that we know actually what we can see is that there's a large number of images. This here has got 10 images. They've obviously got variations. I mean, they're doing a really good job. So we do know if we want to compete in this space that and we want to do some numbers more than the 5,000 in theory that I spoke about earlier that we might be doing, we need to analyse how the competitors are, what sort of sales they're doing, how they're where they're analysing, where they're getting their sales from. But the first part of what we do is we look at their listing and their images, and we can see that in this category, the majority of sellers are actually doing a really good job, and that's quite unusual. We can see, look at this A+ content that we spoke about earlier. We can also look at their reviews, and we can see, well, actually they've got a 4.5 rating. They're doing a really good job. Bullet points are all good. So we know that we have to do a really good job to compete with these people, and we know that this is a market, so we can analyse the competitors, and we can say, well, what do we need to do? If we come in with an image with one image, we come in with a listing with one image and not much else, then it's not really going to go to work in this market, because we'll just we won't gain market share. I'll do part 3, which is to look at some examples of some poorer listings in the next part. Thanks for listening. Speak to you again soon. Take care.